Mendel's second law is the law of segregation. What does this law of segregation conveys? It conveys two alleles controlling each character maintain identity in the organism, but during the formation of gametes by meiosis, move apart due to separation of the homologous chromosomes, so that each gamete receives only one allele of each character on random basis. So what does this statement means, we will discuss step by step. So let me first recall, when we were studying law of dominance, we have discussed that only the dominant allele is going to express. So if we have the dominant character as the tall pea plant, the progeny will be tall. So why? Because the dominant allele expresses itself and the recessive in the presence of the dominant allele is not going to express. So how we have come to this conclusion is, as you all know, that Mendel took pure breeding varieties. So he took a tall pea plant it's a true breeding, or you can say pure breeding tall pea plant, and a dwarf pea plant. Dwarf means plant with short height. Okay, so what he did, Mendel took tall pea plant and a dwarf pea plant and he crossed pure breeding tall pea plant with pure breeding dwarf pea plant. And what did he observed after this cross? He observed that the progeny was tall. It was like one of the parents, it was not showing any character of another parent. Okay, so when Mendel crossed pure breeding tall pea plant with pure breeding dwarf pea plant, the progeny or the offspring Mendel obtained was a tall pea plant, right? So I can here write it as pure breeding tall pea plant and it was crossed with what? With pure breeding dwarf pea plant. So you can here write pure breeding dwarf pea plant. So when Mendel did first cross, he took pure breeding tall pea plant and crossed it with pure breeding dwarf pea plant. What was the progeny he observed? The progeny was tall pea plant. Okay, it was tall pea plant. Now you can observe the question that was raised in Mendel's mind was, and when you look at this also, this question must be in your minds too, that if we have two parents, one is pure tall and one is pure dwarf, so we are having a progeny which is tall, means it is not showing the characters of this parent. It is showing the characters of this parent only, but it is not showing any character of this parent. Okay, so now we have progeny which is tall pea plant. Now what is this Mendel's law of segregation? He says that when we have gametes, okay, we have a pair of alleles, we have two alleles controlling each character maintain identity in the organism, but during the formation of gametes by meiosis move apart due to separation of the homologous chromosomes, so that each gamete receives only one allele of each character on random basis. So before what gamete formation we have, supposingly this is for pure tall. Okay, these are the alleles for pure tall pea plant, and here we have pure dwarf pea plant. Okay, since this tall characteristic is dominant, because when we got the first progeny, it was tall, means this parent's character was present here. This means the tallness characteristic is the dominant characteristic. So the dominant character is written as uppercase letter. So we have capital T means uppercase T and uppercase T, and for recessive, for the dwarfness, we have lowercase t and lowercase t. Since these are available in pairs, so during gamete formation, what happens? Supposingly, I just color it out differently. For example, it's a blue black tea and it's a black tea, and here I have a green tea and a black tea here. So what is going to happen when the gametes will be formed? They are going to segregate. This pair is going to segregate. How? We'll be having segregated alleles like this, and then we have the black one, then we have a green one, it is a recessive gene, and then again a black one. So what is going to happen during gamete formation? These are going to segregate or separate into individually. So what is going to this statement convey? Two alleles controlling each character, maintain identity in the organism. But during the formation of gametes, gametes are what? Gametes are haploid, means they are going to have the half number of chromosomes. So during the formation of gametes by meiosis, move apart due to separation of the homologous chromosomes. They move apart due to separation of the homologous chromosomes, so that each gamete receives only one allele of each character on random basis. So here you can make out that when these alleles are segregated, they separate during meiosis, we have only one allele of each character on random basis. From what? From those homologous chromosomes. I hope, do you remember what are homologous chromosomes? When this is paired, for example, we have a homologous chromosome, okay, we have like this. So what is going to happen? This pair of chromosomes will be termed as homologous chromosomes when they are going to encode, they have a segment of the same gene on the same locus. So this pair will be known as homologous chromosomes. Why? Because both of them encode for the same gene segment, same characteristic trait. For example, if this is for the height, this is also for the height of the plant. So if a pair of chromosomes which are encoding for the same characteristics at the same locus, this pair of chromosomes is known as homologous chromosomes. So since we have two alleles, but during gamete formation, means when they will be haploid cells, gametes are always haploid because they have the half number of chromosomes, they will segregate. During meiosis what happens? They are going to segregate, and here we have segregated alleles, genes. So now this is the result of meiosis, during which gametes are formed and haploid cells are there, which have half the number of chromosomes. So two alleles controlling each character maintain identity in the organism, but during the formation of gametes by meiosis, move apart. They are going to segregate or they are going to separate from the homologous chromosome, so that each gamete receives only one allele of each character on random basis. So let us recall what happens during meiosis. Before meiosis, supposedly we talk about this one. We have a cell and this is parent 1, supposedly. We are talking about parent 1. This is parent 1, this is parent 2. Let's talk about parent 1 first. We have this is for tallness, this is capital T, this is capital T. What happens? First of all, there is replication. We have replication in which we'll have like this structures, and this is for what? This is capital T, it's also capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T. Okay. After replication, the cell enters meiosis 1. What happens during meiosis? During meiosis 1, what is going to happen? They are going to what? They are going to form two separate, means we'll have cells in which we have such structures. So during meiosis 1, now we have two cells. What happens now when we have these two cells? They enter what? They enter meiosis 2. During meiosis 2, we'll have 4 haploid cells which are going to have half the number of chromosomes. Okay, so means here we have capital T, capital T, capital T and a capital T, means uppercase letter T. So you can imagine that when we talk about the meiosis, the formation of gametes, the chromosome number is reduced to half and we have obtained such results. Let's talk about parent 2. So what is happening in case of parent 2? Again we have this allelic pair. We have lowercase letter t and lowercase letter t. So they are going to replicate. So we have chromosomes like this. This is here I am showing what? I am showing replication of chromosomes. Then this enters what? This enters meiosis 1. So what will be the result? We'll have 2 cells. And after this it is going to enter what? Meiosis 2, where we are going to have 4 haploid cells in which we have half the number of chromosomes. So they will all be lowercase letter t. So what is going to happen during fertilization? One from this and the other from this, from the second parent, they are going to combine randomly. So after completion of meiosis, we have the gametes, and see what is going to happen. We have this one and we have this from one parent, parent 1, and this is parent 2, and they are going to combine, they are going to form this pair. So we have capital T and small t. So this is what is going to happen after the end of fusion. So now the diploid number is restored. Since it was having half the number of chromosomes, now the diploid number is restored. We have now both the alleles, capital T, small t. So you can make out the alleles controlling each character maintain identity in the organism. But during the formation of gametes, means during the formation of these haploid cells which have half the number of chromosomes, move apart, they segregate. Move apart means they segregate. This word segregation means separation. They segregate apart due to separation of what? Homologous chromosome. These homologous chromosomes are seen, they are separating, and then we have 4 haploid cells which have half the number of chromosomes, so that each gamete receives only one allele. As you can see, only one allele will be there. I have explained it in this way and I have explained it in the form of meiosis also. See, now the haploid cells, the gametes, these are the gametes 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have what? They have what? Only one allele. They don't have a pair like this. During gamete formation, they have half the number of chromosomes and they have only one allele of each character on random basis. So when they are going to combine in the progeny, we will see we have a cell in which the pair of alleles is present, which is uppercase letter T also and lowercase letter small t also. So here you can make out what Mendel wanted to convey when he was giving the statement of law of segregation. And something surprising is here to tell you all, that when Mendel gave this law, there was no idea about meiosis. Okay, so Mendel didn't know anything about meiosis. What he wanted to convey was, when he did his experiment, he had a pure breeding tall pea plant and a pure breeding dwarf pea plant. And when he got the progeny, it was a tall pea plant. So you can make out, when it was a tall pea plant, the character for dwarfness was not seen on the progeny in the F1 generation. So Mendel was here curious to know why this didn't happen. So he gave a hypothesis, then he gave a statement that in case of alleles, 2 alleles which control each character, means there is a pair of alleles which control each character. For example, for tallness, we have alleles uppercase letter T for pure breeding tall pea plant, and a lowercase letter t and a lowercase letter t means a pair of alleles, 2 alleles for pure breeding dwarf pea plant. But during meiosis, during gamete formation, he says that they segregate, they separate. So they separate, and now each gamete receives only one allele. So these are the 4 gametes you see, and they are going to receive only one allele of each character on random basis. So I have explained this on the basis of meiosis also. You know that first of all the chromosomes are replicated and they enter meiosis 1 and we have 2 cells, okay. So these are all capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T. But during meiosis 2, gamete formation is there and we have 4 haploid cells in which you can see the chromosome number is reduced to half and we have only one allele per gamete, only one allele per gamete. Similar is the case with parent 2, and when the alleles from parent 1 from the gametes and alleles from parent 2 from the gametes, they combine, we have a progeny which has 2 alleles, one from parent 1 and the other from parent 2. So it is capital T, small t, and the progeny is going to be tall. Why? Because this character, the tallness, the character shown by the uppercase letter is dominant over the recessive one. That is why the progeny obtained